The battle for the 2024 presidential endorsements is heating up. Former President Trump nabbing several congressional supporters this week, including some from Florida, where Ron DeSantis, as you know, is governor. DeSantis making his way to South Carolina today for his book tour. It's a crucial stop as South Carolina is the first in the South to hold its primary. It is expected to be hotly contested. In a hypothetical matchup for the GOP, DeSantis could face former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, who may run, and former President Trump, who is declared and won the state twice. Correspondent Robert Sherman joins us live in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Robert, is DeSantis any closer to actually announcing his presidential bid?
Well, it's a big game of read between the lines, Nicole. I can tell you this. We have seen the Florida governor crisscrossing the nation over the last couple of weeks. And today he finds himself in South Carolina trying to court voters in one of the most crucial primary states.
We're proud to talk about what we've been able to accomplish in the state of Florida, because we've really led the way on a lot of important issues, and we've produced results that have been the envy of the country.
On the ground in South Carolina, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis making his first visit to the Palmetto State Wednesday, just days after visiting New Hampshire and a month since his visit in Iowa.
It's probably one of the worst kept political secrets is that Ron DeSantis looks like he's running for president.
Professor Aubrey Jewett with the University of Central Florida says while the governor has not officially declared a run, the state is a rite of passage for every presidential hopeful.
While the winner of New Hampshire and the winner of Iowa frequently don't actually go on to win the nomination, the winner of South Carolina on the Republican side, I think, has won it just about every time, maybe except for once or twice.
A new poll from Winthrop University shows former President Trump appears to be in control of the state, opening up a more than 20-point lead over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. Governor DeSantis hoping his so-called Florida blueprint can woo South Carolinians.
The average person knows the Florida model is the way to go, not the Biden, Washington, D.C. model.
DeSantis hanging his hat on his handling of the coronavirus pandemic, refusing to keep the state closed despite harsh criticism from opponents. More recently, the governor has made headlines for cracking down on teaching critical race theory, gender and sexuality in schools, and going after companies like Disney, taking heat from fellow Republican Chris Christie.
I don't think Ron DeSantis is a conservative.
Still, the governor remaining unabashed in his choices.
I'm not going to be like some other Republicans. Some of these guys get into office and they're like potted plants. We need to go on offense.
So today, all eyes are on South Carolina, but next week, the former president heads to New Hampshire. It really feels as though the campaign trail is heating up here, Nicole, and not that anybody's counting, we're still over 560 days away from Election Day.
Yeah,
Nicole.
Not that anyone is counting. All right. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.